You know, making tax digital, it was supposed to make compliance simpler, right? But for so many accounting firms, it's actually created this whole new layer of hidden problems. And the thing is, these challenges aren't really coming from the MTD rules themselves. Nope, they're coming from the very software that's supposed to help you manage it all. So let's dig in and figure out where this friction is really coming from.
All right, let's just cut right to the chase with a question that I bet hits a little too close to home for some of you. The tech stack you're using for MTD, is it actually costing you time instead of saving it? It's a really frustrating thought, but it's one we have to face. Oh, this feels familiar, doesn't it? The pressure's on, that deadline is just staring you down, and your clients are sending you information in, a dozen different formats? You got blurry photos of receipts here, a random spreadsheet there. It's organized chaos, and it's the starting point for so much of the stress we all feel. Yeah, we've got a name for this. We call it the quarter-end scramble. It's that period that is somehow both completely predictable and yet still incredibly stressful, where your team is basically trying to piece together a puzzle with pieces from 10 different boxes, all while the clock is ticking. And here's what that scramble actually looks like in practice. It's this constant tab-switching nightmare. First, you open up your practice management system, okay? Then your document store, then the MTD filing tool itself, then maybe the CRM to see the last client conversation. And before you know it, a whole hour has just vanished, just trying to get the full picture for one single client. That's not accounting, that's just digital admin. So here's the absolute crucial point. The real enemy here isn't making tax digital. The real culprit, the thing that's grinding your workflow to a halt and just draining your team's energy, is the friction created by your own software. Okay, so let's actually give this problem a name so we know exactly what we're up against. We're going to call it software friction. So what is software friction? Well, it's what happens when the very tools that are supposed to help you actually end up working against you. It's all those extra clicks, the constant exporting and re-importing, the jumping between different apps. It all adds up to create unnecessary work and completely avoidable pressure. Now that we've named the beast, let's talk about the specific ways this friction is actively hurting your firm's efficiency and, let's be honest, your team's sanity. First up, and this one is huge, is when the software is just way too complicated for your client. We see this all the time. A firm invests in this super powerful, all-singing, all-dancing platform, but your average MTD client, they just don't need all those bells and whistles. And you can see the ripple effect right here. Most of your MTD clients, they're sole traders, landlords, they get totally lost in complex menus, and naturally, they start making mistakes. And what happens then? Your highly skilled, valuable team members are forced to become a free tech support help desk. The tool that was meant to help has just become another burden. And here's the real kicker, the big irony in all of this. We're surrounded by all these digital tools, but we're still drowning in manual data entry. So many of these platforms just don't have reliable bank feeds or good automated data capture, which pushes all that tedious work right back on your team. I mean, what a colossal waste of time, right? Manual entry always leads to human error. That then requires multiple layers of review and correction. This isn't just inefficient, you're burning your most valuable resource, your senior accountant's time, on something that software should be doing for them. All right, the third big killer of efficiency, a disconnected, fragmented tech stack. The MTD rules are clear. You need an unbroken digital link from the original document all the way to the final submission. But if you're using separate systems for each step, well, that link is broken before you even start. So what happens is your team gets trapped in this endless, soul-destroying loop of exporting data from one place, re-uploading it to another, and then trying to make it all match up. Even so-called bridging tools often just keep you stuck using spreadsheets, which still need manual checks. It's a workflow built on a series of weak links. So let's just lay it all out, side by side. On the left, you've got the world of friction, disconnected systems, manual work, complexity, chaos. And on the right, you have the goal, the world of flow, where everything just happens in a single, simple environment with automation. I mean, the difference is just night and day. Okay, that's the problem. So how do we actually get from that chaotic friction side to the smooth flow side? Let's take a look at what a truly streamlined solution looks like. I mean, look how simple this should be. 1, clients upload their documents without any fuss. 2, the data gets captured automatically. 3, you reconcile with a single click. And 4, you file directly to HMRC. That's it. No exporting, no rekeying, no chaos. And this is how a system built for flow
tackles those problems head on. It automates how you collect documents, letting clients use whatever's easy for them. It uses smart tech like AI to grab the data so your team isn't checking every single line item, just the exceptions. And crucially, everything from reconciliation to filing happens in the exact same place.
And this isn't just theory. Look at the numbers. If your team is spending, say, 4 hours every quarter just wrangling documents for a set of clients, a properly automated tool can cut that time by more than half. Those are real hours you get back to focus on work that your clients actually see value in. Which brings us to the real prize here. This isn't just about finding better software. It's about fundamentally changing how your firm operates by getting back your two most valuable resources, your time and your control.
I love this quote because it just hits the nail on the head. The right tool is so much more than a compliance utility. It's a strategic asset. It acts like a shield, protecting your team from that low-value, repetitive work, and it puts you back in the driver's seat of your own process.
It really all boils down to this. The goal has to be to shift your team's focus away from fighting with clunky software and back to what they do best, providing incredible advice and service to your clients.
So, let's end where we started, with a question just for you. If you saw your firm in that friction column we looked at, if your MTD software is genuinely creating more headaches than it solves, well, isn't it finally time to make a change?